Yes, Basil.
Good morning, Ramesh.
Morning.
Here to indulge again.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm here to indulge again.
Oh, go ahead. That's what the satsang is all about. Go ahead.
Yes, I thought about what we tried to digest, what we discussed yesterday.
Yes.
And I was lying on bed, kind of in the afternoon. It's hot and it's whatever. And it struck me as the obvious, what we discussed. We says that the results is something that we don't have control over. Absolutely no control. I mean, I heard it so many times from you. But the thought occurred to me that that's what all my life has been about, is to control the result, is to make that happen. But I was stunned, but that's all my training has been about. That's what business school teaches you.
Whereas your experience all your life has been the other way around.
Yes.
What is your own, everybody's experience? It can only boil down, I'm free to do whatever I want, no question. But the result has never ever been in anyone's control.
True.
And yet, we are not prepared to accept our everyday, daily experience.
And I've also noticed that you said results, and that was very clear to me, but at the same time you also discussed the other concept that there is actually no doer as well. Okay? That there is no doer. And then the thought occurs to me, I says, what the heck have I been doing all my life? I mean, it's like a rhetorical question that I even don't have an answer to right now.
What is the answer to it? What is the simple answer? Basil, what is your question? State your question.
What have I been doing all my life? I'm trying to make
it is a vital question. And what is the simple basic answer? Simple basic answer is, I thought I've been living my life. But actually, my life has always been lived. I thought all the time I was living my life. But what actually was happening is, my life was being lived like everybody's life is being lived. Therefore, every single thing is happening in the world. Everything is happening in the world strictly according to God's will, cosmic law, and there is no one to do any action. That is the final, simple truth, if there is any truth in this world. Everything in the world is happening according to God's will, cosmic law. There is no one truly able to do anything. I mean, I'm saying there is no one, but that's a bit too much. But there is, every one of us is there. But my point is, everyone's daily experience is, I'm fact number one, I'm free to do whatever I want. Fact number two, basic fact number two of life, no one ever has had any control over the result of my act, nor the consequence of that result. And everybody's experience is, one of three things can happen. What is my experience? Sometimes I've got what I wanted. Sometimes I've not got what I want. And sometimes what I got was beyond expectation. Many times for the worse, sometimes for the better. And the something which I've got beyond expectation, as far as I'm concerned, you will never believe. That's beyond expectation what I've got is something which, to my best of my experience, I'm the only one in the world to have. You know what that is? I'll tell you. You were born in India. You were in India for how many years?
15 years.
15 years, all right. In 15 years, by that time, you didn't go to college in India.
No.
But you must know, in India, college, any school or college, very strict borders. So, in India, I did my BA, Bachelor of Arts, and we have three very clear. In Bharati, I think it's probably even now. BA, Bachelor of Arts, BSc, Bachelor of Science, and BCom, Bachelor of Commerce. Three clear distinctions. So I did my BA here with economics and politics. Then I went to London School of Economics and joined the BCom course. And the regular custom was for those who have not done commerce. For those who have done commerce and have gone to, no, they go straight second year of commerce. But those who have done the BA, then for them what they got was, our normal thing was I would have been accepted for the BCom with the reservation that by the end of the year I had to appear for a commerce examination. I had to appear for an accountancy examination. Because in BA there is no subject. So they called it partial exemption. That was the step for many, many years. So since I had done this BA, the maximum I could expect was to have partial exemption. That means I could attend the BCom classes. But by the end of the year, I have to appear for an examination in accountants and pass it. That is the usual. So, anyone, the students in London School are from all over the world, all over Europe. So they had to have minimum basic understanding of English language and a minimum understanding of generally of economics and politics. So everybody had to appear for an entrance examination. Many 10, 15 questions. You have to answer 2, 3, 4, whatever there. And by choice, because there is no, all they want was general information. I loved that examination. I loved that paper. So much choice, and I could write whatever I wanted. So I did well in that paper. That I know. I did very well in that paper. No question about it. Then when the results were to be announced, I was told I had to go to one Professor Plant. I still remember his name. And I remembered Professor Plant because he had a tick, you know. He wasn't smiling. But he looked as if he was smiling. I remember Professor Plant. So I was supposed to go to him and ask my result, which was more or less a formality, partial exemption. So I went there, whatever. And they said, my name is Balsekar. So Balsekar right off the A.B. So I said, wow, R.S. Balsekar, full exemption. So I said, sir, I didn't do my commerce I did my BA in Bombay. Full exemption. I mean, in spite of his smile, which was not a smile, he was a fairly serious fellow, you see. So I didn't dare ask him a second time. Twice he told me full exemption. So when I came out, I told my friends, I had full exemption. I said, are you crazy? You never have done accountancy. How can you get full exemption? I asked him twice. I didn't dare ask him a third time. But in any case, next day, the results were to appear on the notice board. So he said, then you will know. I said, okay. Next day on the notice board, R.S. Balsekar, full exemption. So, what I am telling you, Basil, is I am the only person in the world, I think, who has a commerce degree without having appeared for a single examination in accountancy. Beyond expectation, how much can you have? That much. So everybody's experiences Either you get what you want, you do not get what you want, or what you get is beyond expectation. Many times for the worse, sometimes for the better. And which of the three things happen, no one in the world has ever known. No one has ever. Someone wants to commit suicide. Even he may do whatever he wants, but he can't guarantee that he will die. Isn't that a fact? I'll read you a wonderful story about this suicide. I've read it before, but there are no new people. You haven't heard. Yes, Cycle of Karma. Title, Cycle of Karma. Ronald Opus died from a shotgun wound to the head. He, however, had jumped from the top of a 10-story building to commit suicide. He had jumped from the top of a 10-story building to commit suicide. But he had died of a shotgun wound to the head. How did that happen? That's the story. As he fell past the ninth floor, as he fell past the ninth floor, a shotgun blast through a window killed him instantly. A safety net had been installed at the 8th floor, and Opus would not have been able to commit suicide. He jumped from the 11th, not knowing about the net. If he had jumped, he would have been saved on the 8th floor. He would not have died. But what killed him was a shotgun wound from some floor between the 11th and the 8th. See what I mean? So, the room from whence the shotgun blast emanated was occupied by an elderly couple. They were arguing vigorously, and he was threatening her with a shotgun. When the man pulled the trigger, he missed his wife and the bullet struck Opus instead. The old couple maintained that they thought the shotgun was unloaded. The old man said it was his long-standing habit to threaten his wife with the unloaded gun. It was a usual thing. Therefore, Opus's killing appeared to be an accident. He wanted to commit suicide. Now it looked as if it was accident. Investigation turned up a witness who said that he had seen the old couple's son loading the shotgun. The woman had cut off her son's financial support, and the son loaded the shotgun, hoping his father would shoot his mother. Further investigation revealed that the son was in fact Ronald Opus. Despondent over the loss of financial support, he jumped off the building, only to be killed by a shotgun blast, the gun loaded by himself. So the case was closed as suicide. So even someone committing suicide, knowing 100% he is going to die. What he expected, he may get what he expected, he may not get, or something totally different, like Opus. Everybody's experience, everybody's lifelong experience. And yet, as I told you the other day, someone very successful is called to the college to give a lecture, and what does he say? I am successful, I have been successful such and such a reason. So what you are saying is absolutely correct. We know that, and yet our mindset is such that we are not prepared to accept what is obvious in our daily experience. That is the reason we are unhappy. Why are we unhappy? Because according to God's will, cosmic law, most of us are supposed to be unhappy. So, Basil, go ahead.
It might sound like a what we call the dorky student,
I'm sorry?
a stupid student or whatever, asking the same question over and over again.
And that's called what?
A stupid student, right?
A stupid student.
Yeah, asking
Oh.
the same question over and over
I
again.
see, I go
The
ahead.
concept that you have covered yesterday, I want to ask it yet again because
Go ahead, yes.
I heard what you said. I'm still confronted with on a day-to-day basis, on
Yes.
a daily living basis.
And don't forget, I'm talking entirely on the basis of everyday living.
Yes,
Theory doesn't,
yes,
I'm not interested in theory.
I get that. Yes.
Yes, so,
So on a daily basis,
Yes.
what we talked about yesterday, what I would coin in my case, my monster, I give it there's so many different names of this thing that I suffer from that called, fundamentally I'm no good. Fundamentally I need to go ahead and fix myself. Now having heard all this, that, I can't control my results, this is how I am. I still find myself on a daily basis. I mean, I don't want to bore you or the crowd here with the gory little details. Save it for the psychotherapist chair of how that manifests. But it still is very much with me. So how do I?
what is still with you? That's it. What is still with you? A feeling of being inadequate?
A feeling of being inadequate, and I'm trying to do I have to do something about it.
Yes. So, first and foremost, as I said, to a certain extent I also have that. A lack of confidence. Basically that's what it would come to, isn't it? Lack of confidence. In practice, what you have said, a certain lack of confidence. So a lack of confidence or an overconfidence is, I'm told, a genetic quality. Both are about the same capacity, about the same reasonably good capacity. But one has lack of confidence, the other has overconfidence. And neither is able to say, I'm told that it's a genetic quality. So it's something which is genetic. Until the scientist is able to do something about it, you and I have to accept it. Whether it is lack of confidence or overconfidence, we have to accept it. My point is, we are lack of confidence, some people overconfident. But my point is, that has nothing to do with our success or failure in life. It has nothing to do with our success or failure in life. As someone lacking in confidence, whether I succeed in life or not, is my destiny. Therefore, someone who is overconfident, whether he will succeed in life or not, has nothing to do with his overconfidence. That is his destiny, God's will, cosmic will. But what I'm thinking, the two have nothing. If they were connected, then I could understand. I lack confidence. I can never be successful in life. But that is not so. That is not so. I have lacked a certain amount. You have lacked. But neither of us can really be called a failure in life. Can we? So the two are totally different. One is genetic thing, about which we can do nothing. But that does not mean that because of that we are not going to be successful, or someone with overconfidence. That can also be a fault. But therefore, either is a genetic trait which has nothing to do with the success or failure in life, which is totally different. One is our genetic, which is also destiny, I agree, but one is genetic, but that has nothing to do. My destiny in having a certain lack of confidence has nothing to do with my destiny about being successful or not. So why should I bother? And yet, in any situation, I'm free to correct it. I'm free to go to any psychotherapist, do whatever he suggests, but with the acceptance, whatever I do, whatever effort I do, has nothing to do with my success or not, which is already predetermined according to my destiny. Therefore, the important thing is, whether it is overconfidence or lack of confidence or any other genetic trait, nothing stops me from doing whatever I want at any moment to improve myself physically, mentally, temperamentally, financially or spiritually. That is the most wonderful thing about life. Everyone is free to do whatever he wants in any given situation. But with the total acceptance that the result has never ever been in my control, what I've stated is given facts. Because I've been able to accept these given facts with God's grace for the last 25 odd years, my life has been extraordinarily simple. I still do in any situation whatever I think I should do. But having done it, knowing that after that whatever happens has never ever been in my control, now I'm able to relax, knowing whatever is not in my control, without expecting anything. Maybe neither no regrets in the past, no complaints in the present. Why no complaints in the present? Because in that situation I've already done whatever I wanted to do. Thereafter I have to accept the fact. Therefore, having done whatever I wanted to do already, I have no complaints in the present. And my lifelong experience, I have no expectation in the future. So what I'm saying is, all it really needs is to be able to accept by God's grace the clear facts of life. Then, what happens? Then I live my life, having done whatever I wanted to do. I don't blame or condemn anybody, because everything I've accepted, everything in the world is a happening. No human being is capable of doing any action. So, I do whatever I feel like doing, then sit back, witness whatever is happening, without blaming and condemning anyone. Witnessing the biological reactions in every body-mind organism that I come across, knowing it to be a biological reaction and not someone's action. Why? Because of the basic acceptance. Everything is happening, no one can do anything. The human being is being lived, the human being cannot act. Therefore, whatever I see must be either a biological reaction in the body-mind organism or a happening over which the individual has no control. This is very important for me. I witness whatever is happening. Whatever is happening means through the various people I come across. So with my total acceptance, whatever seems to be like someone's action, with my total acceptance, is only one of two things. Either it is a biological reaction over which he has no control, or he appears to be doing whatever he is supposed to be doing according to his destiny, God's will, cosmic law. I can't make it any simpler. So knowing that whatever anybody seems to be doing is either a biological reaction over which he has no control, or a happening which is supposed to happen through that body-mind organism according to God's will, cosmic law. Therefore, truly, I live my life, experience whatever it is, without honestly admiring anyone or despising anyone, without considering someone as my friend or someone as my enemy. That makes life enormously simple. And I repeat, based totally on what is quite evident and clear to everybody.
So to the extent that I'm able to accept what you just said, that life is just a happening, to that degree my suffering would be relieved.
Indeed.
That becomes a marker, a signpost, so to speak. Am I correct to assume that?
What do you mean by signpost?
Meaning
something which I totally accepted. How can it be a signpost?
Is acceptance, could acceptance be gradual? Are there different degrees of acceptance?
Yes. Now,
so what I'm trying to say is that this thing is so ingrained in me that I have spent, from a money's point of view, tens of thousands of dollars trying to work on this thing, and as a matter of fact, as I said yesterday, in a way this is a blessing in disguise. This monster was the thing that triggered the search in the first place. This is what triggered the whole seeking business, if you will, which in a way I think it is truly a blessing. Having said that, having worked on it and coming back to your concept, so the degree of acceptance, would alleviate the degree of suffering.
Yeah.
So unless there is absolute and total acceptance,
100%
they will still be suffering.
100% correct. And that suffering you would call what I call involvement. So my point therefore is it's such a simple thing. To be able to accept what appears to be such a simple thing is itself my destiny. But the fact is that you have been a seeker at 19 of something which most people would ignore, and which you think Basil has been a seeker since 19 years. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And what I am saying is that Basil, a young man of 19 years, in reasonably comfortable circumstances, that Basil, somebody could even be interested, slightly interested in what we are talking about, it was not of Basil's choice. It was a happening which had to happen according to Basil's destiny, God's will, cosmic law. Therefore, that Basil has been a seeker from 19 years is nothing to his credit or debit. It is entirely a matter of the destiny of this individual body-mind organism with the name Basil. So, as an independent individual entity, what I am saying, Basil, is that you have been on this course from the age of 19 is your destiny according to God's will, cosmic law. From that start over which you had no control, that you have come so far is again was not either your choice or the result. So there is a young man interested in research since 19 years, and after that, for almost 20 years now, they've been he thought he was working on it, and he has been working on it. But my point is, that he started on this 19 years ago was not in his control. That he has come so far has not been in his control. Therefore, it was his destiny to be on this course since the age of 19, and after 20 years has reached a certain stage, which is definitely a certain stage, important stage. It is again God's will. So, my point is, the perspective would be, if God has chosen according to my destiny, His will, for me to start on this course at 19 and come so far, it's quite clear how far I will go, whether I have the total acceptance or not, is again my destiny, God's will, cosmic law. And at this point what I am suggesting is no need for Basil not to be optimistic. That Basil started on this 19 years ago. That Basil has come so far, make no mistake. The stage at which we are talking is no small matter. Therefore, Basil's attitude should be, God has brought me so far. Of course, God could drop me any time from now to later. But what is the probability? Probability, since God has brought me so far, it's up to Him to take me farther. Therefore, why should Basil say, my glass is half empty and be morose? My glass is half full. Enjoy the half full that is there.
Yeah, I always get this analogy that you're using. The seeking business, that God is just keep feeding me the appetizers, It's like, where the heck is the main course? Where the hell is the goddamn main course?
I know. Therefore, what is my answer? My answer, Basil, is don't wait for the main course. Enjoy your starters. Enjoy your starters. And if you ask me, I would rather enjoy my starters and go straight on to the dessert. Trouble is, I'm waiting for the main course. Why wait for the main course? If I'm happy with my starters and looking forward to the dessert, that's the simplest I can make of this. And it truly is a simple thing. Why? For one reason. I don't need any philosophy, I don't need any concept. All I have to do is see clearly the two basic facts of life. I am free to do whatever I want in any situation. Total freedom. But equally sure has been everybody's experience from day one. The result of it has never been in anyone's control. Therefore, to do whatever I want is my free will. But after having done whatever I wanted to do, what happened thereafter has always been God's will, over which I have no control. Two simple basic facts of life. No one can deny those. So if I am able to accept those two basic facts of life, all I can do, I repeat, all I can do is do whatever I feel I should do. Having done it, I have no choice but to wait and see what happens thereafter. Therefore, all one needs to see the basic facts of life as they are. But we don't do it because it's our destiny to suffer. So my point at this moment is, Basil is concerned with having reached a certain stage. The final stage, whether it happens or not, is not in Basil's control. But we assume, since that God has brought you here, no reason to be pessimistic, therefore we'll be optimistic and say, sometime or the other it is likely to happen. So the point now is, between this stage where the understanding is 100% intellectual and the final end where the understanding is 100% total, that is a process in time. So for this process in time, conceptually if I say the process is from 0 to 10, then in that process, in Basil's life, in the involvements are bound to happen. So, first thing is for Basil to accept that involvements are bound to happen in that process in time. So what will be Basil's experience? The involvement begins at 1 and continues right up to 6. If Basil were not interested, what is this process for the ordinary person? The process for the ordinary person is an involvement begins, it goes right up to 10 and overflows. And by that time, there are 9 involvements at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each one overflowing and making life miserable for the ordinary person. But for Basil, with this understanding, even at the intellectual level, involvement may happen 1 and it goes on up to say 9. But even the intellectual involvement or the involvement at some stage between the intellectual involvement and the total involvement, that is the beauty of this understanding. Even the intellectual acceptance is likely to come up by itself, that is the beauty of it, and cut off the involvement. At 8, 9 or 10, Basil suddenly remembers this understanding, this theory, the understanding, that he has never been the doer. And then the involvement of personal, what is the involvement? Personal doership. I've done this good thing or a bad thing. Good thing, pride. Bad thing, guilt. That is the involvement. Your experience will be that you will find Basil suddenly remembering the essence of the understanding, and then Basil is no longer involved. What actually happens is Basil remembers this, the understanding, because he was supposed to. What actually happens is the understanding at any level arises by itself and cuts off the involvement at 10. Then as you understand and as you go on, your actual experience will be that you find the understanding arising and cutting off the involvement at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And when you see that, you begin to see the understanding at any level in operation. Thereafter then, it is likely that when it is Basil's experience that it gets cut off, then 2 things can happen. Basil can accept that it is happening, I am there, if that is his destiny. Or Basil can be, I want it now, impatient. So whether Basil happens to be patient and enjoys life, or Basil becomes impatient, how long? That again is your destiny. But your experience is likely to be that you will yourself see the involvement which you now accept as an involvement over which you have no control, being cut off, not you cutting off, but being cut off by suddenly remembering over which you have no control, which means the understanding itself at any level, arising of its own and cutting off the involvement. That is likely to be your experience. But that is the process in time. How long the process? Your destiny. But what I am saying is, this actual experience of the involvement being cut off will be a big help to accept it. And if you are impatient, then the only thing to do, I am an impatient man. What do I do when I am waiting impatiently? What else can I do? I should wait patiently and enjoy your life. Because make no mistake, living my life does not mean only misery. Everybody's life means I have done something, the result has been one of three things. The society in which I live can only consider the result of my action as my action. Society cannot know what each of us has done. So I do whatever I want. I am describing to you the basis of the mechanism of daily living. I have just done whatever I wanted. Result happens. The consequence of that happens. Society considers that as my action, rewards me or punishes me. Reward from the society means pleasure in the moment. Punishment from the society means pain in the moment. And that is our daily living since Adam. Daily living means I do whatever I want. There is a result, the judgment from the society, resulting in pleasure or pain, day after day, year after year. That is what I've got to accept. So, while I live my life, forced to live my life in the circumstances in which I have been placed, never knowing what the next moment is going to bring, pleasure or pain, never knowing the total amount of pleasure and pain I am supposed to experience in this life, all I can do is to accept things as they are and live my life in the circumstances in which I have been placed without adding to my restraints. I have no control. I am forced to live my life in the circumstances in which I have been placed, never knowing whether the next moment is going to be pleasure or pain, never knowing the total amount of pleasure. All I can do is not to add to my restraints. That means accepting that this is the rules of life in which I have been forced to live, about which I can do nothing. Therefore, it is no use grumbling and complaining about something over which I have no control. Therefore, with this, that is the only understanding. With that understanding, what can anyone do except do in any circumstances whatever he wants to do, not expecting any particular thing because never been in your control, knowing that any action nobody has any control, stupid to blame and condemn anybody. Also knowing the past is dead past. What is the use of my thinking about past regrets? Knowing that in the present I have already done whatever I wanted to do, no complaints, and experience from very beginning. The results have never been in my control. Therefore, why have any expectations in the future? That is what my life is now. Accepting that I am in a prison. I have had no control. I am in a prison where I have to live my life in the circumstances in which I have been placed, I can only do whatever I feel like doing. Results have never been in my control. All this make my life as a present. All I can do is accept my simple imprisonment and not make my simple imprisonment a rigorous imprisonment. Is my doing which turns my simple imprisonment into rigorous imprisonment by being more unhappy than I need be. Okay, bye. So, any question?
Not for now.
No.
Just digest this.
You will be here for a few days?
Yes.
So, if any questions arise during the day, you are welcome to come again.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Your name is?
My name is Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask.
Please.
Yes.
I've seen you 3, 4, 5 days.
Yes, it's my 4th visit now of your satsang, and I'm very happy to be here and very grateful. So thank you. And I was wondering actually something very simple, probably. What is love? And what is this feeling that we call love when we are in a loving relationship with another person? Is that really love? And maybe more specific, love and sexuality, does it go along well? I'm not so sure about it anymore.
Yeah.
So
that's
more like a bundle of questions.
So you have a question.
Yes.
Suppose, Thomas, you have the answer. Suppose you have the answer, whatever it is. How will that help you to live your life in a happier way? Your mind will conjure another question, and you will want to know the answer to that question. Your mind will never stop. Now, what is love? All right, you have the answer. But suppose you have the answer with which you are satisfied. Then your mind will create another concept, and you will want to know an answer to that. Is that all your life is about? Asking questions, wanting an answer?
No, I mean...
Therefore, Thomas, my point is, there is only one question to ask yourself. Having forced to live my life in the circumstances in which I have been placed, over which I have no control, which means sometimes pleasure one moment, pleasure another moment, right? That is about nobody can do anything. Therefore, I shall live my life accepting the pleasure of the moment, enjoying the pleasure of the moment and suffering the pain of the moment, over which I have no control. What is the most important thing I want? That is happiness. Having forced to live my life in the circumstances in which I have been placed, what do I want most as my happiness? That is my focal question. Only one question. Otherwise, question after question. And the answer to that is, think all you want. And the answer to that is, since whatever happens is not in my control, I have to accept whatever happens. Sometimes pleasure, sometimes pain. But I don't want to be uncomfortable with myself. That is all. Ultimately, I don't want to be uncomfortable with myself, and I don't want to be uncomfortable with Thomas, you said?
Yes.
And not uncomfortable with Thomas either. Because if I'm uncomfortable with Thomas, I'm uncomfortable with myself. Therefore, the conclusion I come to is, the ultimate happiness that any human being wants, who is lucky enough to be in a reasonably comfortable circumstances, is to have a state of mind in which he is not uncomfortable with himself and he is not uncomfortable with, let us call that peace of mind. So my point is, the ultimate happiness which the human being can expect to have is peace of mind. And why does Thomas now not have this peace of mind?
Because he's thinking too much.
Yes, but what does thinking too much bring? Suffering. See? So why is Thomas now not always comfortable with himself? Because there is too much suffering. You want that suffering, and what I'm saying, the maximum anybody can expect to have is to have that suffering which prevents him from being contented and at peace. What is that suffering? That suffering is the load of pride that I'm carrying for my successful good actions, a bigger load of guilt and shame for my actions which have hurt others, and even a bigger load of hatred for others for what they have done to me. Remove that load of hatred for myself for what I have done to others. Remove that load of hatred for others who have hurt me. And what remains? What remains is pleasure or pain, over which I have no control anyway. So accepting the pleasure or pain and not having to carry this load of hatred for myself and hatred for the other means peace of mind. So
Sounds very easy, yeah.
it is simple,
Yeah,
but it is not necessarily easy.
I feel that this is why I feel drawn to Advaita, because I feel there is this growing acceptance.
And ultimately acceptance of what? Thomas? Ultimately acceptance of what? What is the ultimate acceptance?
Of life the way it is.
That's it. Ultimate acceptance is whatever happens in life, which at the moment I may find agreeable or disagreeable. Whatever is at the moment is a happening, which I may find agreeable or disagreeable, is a happening which had to happen according to God's will, cosmic law. In other words, the ultimate acceptance is whatever happens is a happening according to God's will, cosmic law. Through which body, mind, organ, through which person that happening happens, with the society called my action or your action, is also according to God's will, cosmic law. They have no control over what my next action is going to be. Nor does Thomas have any control over what the next thought or action is going to be. And how something which happens to you or me, which is according to God's will, cosmic law, how it affects somebody, that also we have no control. That also is according to God's will, cosmic law.
But that feels like a great relief.
It is. Therefore, what is the final acceptance? The final acceptance is everything that happens is a happening according to God's will. Through which person the happening happens, to me or you, is God's will. And how that happening affects whom, for better or worse, it helps some and harms some, is also according to God's will, cosmic law. Therefore, no human being is really capable of doing anything. Whatever appears to be someone's action is in reality, is in actuality, only a happening which has to happen according to God's will, cosmic law, is the ultimate acceptance. Therefore, nobody can be guilty of doing anything. Neither me nor the other. Therefore, it is stupid to condemn anyone for any happening. Stupid to condemn anyone for any happening over which he has no control. So you stop condemning yourself for anything that happens to it. You stop condemning others for anything that happens to their body, mind, all. That is all. Therefore, the final acceptance is very simple. The acceptance, no one is capable of doing anything. There is no action which anybody does. Everything is happening according to God's will, cosmic law. Therefore, no human being lives his life. His life is being lived by the source.
I haven't reached this final acceptance, but it helps me to see that I can right now accept that I cannot accept some things. So
That is the point.
Yeah.
Therefore, what has happened now? Intellectual acceptance. There is 100% intellectual
yes,
acceptance.
yes,
Why? Because even a damn fool will accept a concept which removes the load of hatred for himself and hatred for the other.
absolutely.
Intellectually, even a damn fool will accept it. How long it will take for the intellectual acceptance to become total acceptance is again like everything else. God's will, cosmic law.
Yes.
All we can do is wait and watch. So
Yes.
the question is, while I am waiting for something to happen, what do I do? Very simple. Enjoy life. Enjoy life means enjoy the pleasure you have, suffer the pain you're going to have. Nothing to do about it. But my point is, the real suffering which you have is not the pain in the moment. Real, you think, pain in the moment. Now why is God so unkind to me? Why? Because the pain of the moment. But the pain of the moment has always, however, it's always gone.
It is. It's actually I don't even feel pain or suffering in my actual life. It's more the memory of
That-
pain and
That is the point.
Yeah.
That is exactly the point. The pain has come and gone, but your mind keeps thinking of that pain which is already in the dead past.
it's like my mind is insisting on.
Therefore I say, what is the simple way to live? Do whatever you feel like doing at any moment. Thinking about the past regrets is a waste of time. So do whatever you want to do. Forget the past because it is dead. Forget the future because what happens in the future has never been in your control. That's it.
Well, thank you so much.
Not at all, Thomas. Not at all. Yes, sir.
Hello. First I want to say thank you to be here. And I thought,
Are you also from Germany?
yes,
I see.
from Berlin. And
Berlin.
Yeah.
And your name is?
Karim.
Karim.
Yes.
And what do you do in Germany? Your business or occupation?
I do talks in Germany, satsangs in Germany, and
You do such things in Germany on what, management?
what?
On management?
No, not management.
What such things do you do in?
People ask me to share my experience with them, and
Why? Why?
because
Why
I,
do people ask
yeah, because
Karim to share his experiences? And have you been born in Germany?
what?
Were you born in Germany?
Yes.
I see. And your name Karim, your parents gave you your name Karim?
My father is from Arabian. I am half from Arabian. Yeah.
From Arabia?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. My mother is from Germany.
No, what I mean is,
Yeah.
if people call you, invite you to give a talk,
Yeah.
you must be able, you must be qualified to do that talk. You must have some kind of qualification. to give the talk which you give, which people value.
Yeah.
What is the subject on which people like to listen to you?
I think the subject is the people, they are calming their suffering, and the only thing that happens.
Why Kareem?
Yeah.
Why Kareem? Why do they ask Kareem? What qualification does Kareem have to give this satsang which people expect from you?
I don't know the qualification. The people, when we sit together with people and we talk about the
Yes,
subject.
but what makes you to come together?
Life, God's will. It's happening. I haven't done something for it. It just happens. I'm still wondering.
So, what happens here? Now, Kareem is here, he goes back to Germany, he goes to his place, and suddenly he finds people coming together to talk to him. Now, I'll tell you why. Why do people come to me?
Yeah.
Well, one reason is, you know how these talks began? It's interesting. The talks began when my wife and I were having breakfast one morning, 7 in the morning. The bell rings and I open the door. I find a young man standing there. So I invite him in. And the position is, he is an Australian young man, now living in an ashram about 120 miles from here. And he come to see me because someone told him that my guru was Nisargadatta. So he comes here. So I talk to him. I talked to him for an hour, hour and a half. He's very happy. So he said, can he come tomorrow? Because he's going to be he's an Australian medical student. He's here, been here for a year. And he's going to leave the end of next week. They said, could he come again? I said, certainly. Next day, he from the railway station, he calls me and he says, I have 3 friends with me, may I bring them? I said, of course. So his 3 friends come. I talk to 4 of them. Then this man goes home to Australia. The other 3 people keep coming. And each one brings 3 more people. And that's how the talks began. And if the talks stop tomorrow, I shall not care. And my wife will be very happy. So that's how the talk. And thereafter, since that time, so many books have happened. So many books have happened. And each one who comes and talks to others, that is how people come here. Because they, 1, talk to the other, and 2, my books. That is why these satsangs happen here.
Yeah.
So that way, what have been the circumstances in which your satsangs have been happening? And what do you talk about?
Yeah.
What do you talk about?
I talk about that the realizing happened that when I surrender totally to God's will, that my life becomes very easy and comfortable.
So
and
you talk to people about exactly what I talk about, is that it?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Oh well. So we are both guilty of the same thing. but frankly, Kareem, do you think you feel authorized to talk about it? Do you feel authorized to talk about it?
I don't think I have any choice to do it. I have to do what I do.
And another thing, how do you earn money? How do you live? What is the source of your earning money? Satsangs?
Now yes.
And earlier?
earlier I had different works to do, and but now I have to live from it because the business thing in Germany.
So the earlier business or jobs dried up, and now you live on the satsang.
Yes.
I wish you luck.
Yes.
And I hope what you have heard here will help you. Okay, Karim. Any particular question you have?
I don't have any question. I would say I wouldn't say that I have the final understanding totally, but I just experience that my life gets easier, and that's what I share with the people. But I wouldn't say to the people I have the final understanding, and I just share so far how life gets easier for me, and the main thing is the understanding that I give up my life. I can't do it. I can't say I give up my life. It happens through different stages in my life. I used many drugs, and at one point the drugs stopped, not because of my will. It just happened, and that's the thing I share with the people. That's all.
I see. So what you really talk to people about is drug addiction, is that right?
I think there are many people.
How to get out of drug addiction?
I don't know how to get out of drug addiction. It would be very nice if I would know it. I would write a book and sell it.
I've been wondering why you didn't.
I can only, was heißt einladen?
Invite.
I can only invite people to stop struggling.
And now, do you invite people to your talk? Do you issue invitations for your talk?
No.
How do they come to you? How do they know about you?
They hear about it. One talks to another.
I see.
And you know, in Germany there's a big satsang thing going on.
Oh, everybody gives satsang to you.
Yeah, there are many. Yeah. This time it's and there's a scene, and they're all talking about, and they all know there's this one, and this is the best one, and this
is a popular occupation then.
Yeah, in Germany, yes.
Okay, Karim. So I hope you get something out of it to help you with your talk. But do you have any way I can help you? Do you have any question whereby I can help you in any way?
Not. I have one stupid question.
Please.
Yeah.
The more stupid, the better. Please. Yes. Yes.
You do talks. Talks happen through you a long time.
Yes.
And do you see any change? Because there's the concept of the world's awakening. The people are getting more and more awakening. Do you see a change over the year?
Do I see a change over the year?
From the visitors, do you think there is more acceptance of your concepts?
No. More acceptance from those who keep coming. Yes, certainly.
Yeah.
But more newer people keep coming.
Yeah.
Just as you came.
Yeah.
But those who have been coming for a while, yes, they have been coming. And they said, why do you keep again? He said, they do feel a change. And that is why, Karim, I mentioned that the beauty of this understanding is that it is not an instrument which you can use to make yourself happy.
Yeah.
The beauty of the understanding, it happens, it operates by itself. And therefore, as I said, in that conceptual scale of 0 to 10, people who keep coming have been their experience that their involvements are being cut off quicker and quicker. To that extent, they have more happiness. But is there a change in the world at large? I have no idea. From what I read in the paper, things are getting worse. But I'm not concerned. Let God worry about the creation that He has created. Are you concerned with improving the world, Karim?
Was heißt das?
Ob du die Welt verbessern willst.
Oh no.
Good.
I love life, it is.
Right. So again, this basic question. What does Karim want most in the circumstances in which he has been forced to live? What does Karim really want most? Until you came here, what was your answer? And what is your answer now? Before you came here, what would have been your answer to this question? What do I want most in life? What would have been your answer?
What do I want?
Most in life, in the circumstances in which you are forced to live your life. What do you want most as happiness? What would have been your answer before you came here? If somebody had asked you, what do you want most in life? In the circumstances in which you are forced to live your life, what do you want most in life? If someone had asked you that question before you came here, what would have been your answer? Karim, what do you think?
Happiness.
Would that have been your answer
What?
before you came here?
Peace.
Would that have been your answer before you came here?
The question what I want most in my life.
Yes.
Before you came.
In the circumstances in which Karim has been forced to live, before you came here, before you started from Germany, if someone had asked Karim the question, what does Karim want most in life? In the circumstances in which he is forced to live his life. What would have been your answer 6 months ago?
The answer is the same like now, to be closest as possible with God's will.
That would have been your answer.
To be closest to the source as possible.
Now, here, with that answer, someone asks you, are you close to God now? What would be your answer? Are you close to God now? The reason I ask you is, I also want to be close to God. When will I know whether I am close to God or not? What will be the answer, Karim? See what I mean?
Yes.
It's a valid question, isn't it? I would also like to be close to God, which apparently Karim is. So how will I know whether I am close to God, and how will I know how close I can be to God? What will be your answer now, Karim? What do you understand by being close to God? That's what I mean. What does Karim mean when he says he wants to be close to God? How can you be close to God? That's what I'm asking.
I know it. At one side, it's strange to say I want to be close to God.
Oh, make no mistake. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Who is I? Karim. I accept that.
Yeah.
Karim is the soul. Forget it. I'm concerned with Karim, who is supposed to live his life.
Yeah.
So how Karim, who is supposed to live his life as a separate entity, as the ego,
Yeah.
how can Karim as the ego, as a separate entity, be close to God?
Only through the realizing that I'm appears from God.
That you are?
That Karim is appearing from the source. That's the closest part to be in the acceptance that this is only a appearance from the source, from myself.
Accepting that, how does it make you closer to God than someone who also accept, because that is easy to accept. That we are all fundamentally the soul.
No doubt.
There is no difficulty.
No doubt.
There is only one reality
Yeah.
who has created the universe. Therefore, every human being has been created by the same source.
Yeah.
That is not difficult to accept. Accepting that all of us have been created by the same source, how can that acceptance make me closer to God than someone else? What do you think? What do you think? Let me put it. Do you feel closer to God than most people who come to visit you?
No. No.
Then when will Karim know that he is closer to God than he was before? When will Karim, how and when will Karim know? Now I'm closer to God than I used to be.
I can't know it.
But I thought that's what you wanted to.
It's not a knowing from the mind.
No, I agree. Knowing from the heart.
Yeah,
So knowing from the heart.
it's. I can't say it in words how this closeness is, but it's
Then how will Karim know that he is closer to God now than he used to be before? How will Karim know? I accept Karim wants to be closer to God than he used to be. How will Karim know that now he is closer to God than he used to be?
It's the words. I can't say I'm closer. I can only say I'm not far. I can know I'm closer when the involvement stops or getting less.
So
I don't feel closer in this way. Only the involvement is away, but I can't say that I'm now closer.
So, what you are saying, I agree with it. Karim will be closer to God when he is no longer involved with the happenings in life.
Yes.
And how would Karim not have involvements in life so that he can be closer to God?
I can only say it in your words, cosmic law.
Whether it happens or not will be according to cosmic law.
Yeah.
But the answer to that, and if you ask me, do I feel
Please.
close to God? Yes,
Yeah.
I do feel close to God. Why? For a simple reason. It's absolutely clear to me, totally, that every one of us, every ego, every single one of the human beings and animals, fundamentally, the difference with other objects is we know we exist. I exist. The animal knows he exists. Therefore, the animal has an ego, the human being has an ego. The human being is an ego, the animal is an ego. Ego being the acceptance, I am a separate entity, I am separate from him. Therefore, my point is, everyone, in every three-dimensional object in which there is life, and the feeling of being a separate entity, I exist. That sense of existence, I am,
Yes.
what the Bible calls I am. I am that I am. Means I know I exist, I am, I exist. So therefore that sense that I exist, but I exist as Ramesh, you exist as Karim, he exists as Thomas.
Can I ask something?
Please.
But the existence of Karim, of the person Karim, can only happen because the I amness. I am also if there's no Karim.
So, that is what I mean by saying
Yeah.
that every ego I accept. Ramesh exists, Karim exists as Karim, Thomas exists as Thomas, but each of us fundamentally
Yeah.
can only be existence. That is the source. In other words, the source or consciousness or energy or whatever of God has created a Ramesh by identifying itself with this body-mind organism as a separate entity. Therefore, each separate entity, each ego fundamentally can only be the same soul. Then there is a difference. See, God or source has identified itself with this body-mind organism and created a Ramesh which is identified consciousness. Therefore, I am identified consciousness. You are also identified consciousness. Every human being, every ego is identified consciousness. Therefore, the closeness to God can't be any nearer. Nothing can be closer to God when God has identified itself and created me and you. Therefore, every ego is fundamentally the source of God, of consciousness. Then, why do I forget this basic fact that I and Basil and Karim and Thomas is essentially the source? That is a fact. Why do we forget it? We know that. What more is to be known? So the point therefore I am making is that every ego is connected to the source as identified consciousness. Ramesh is connected to the source, Karim is connected to the source, Basil is connected to the source, Thomas is connected to the source. That's the end of it. Why is it not the end of it? Because each separate entity forgets the fact that basically each one of us is the source. If I accept that every one of us is the source, then I must accept everything that happens in the world is what the source does through this identified consciousness. But I forget that, and I say, he is my friend, he is my enemy. I like him, I don't like him. So the moment I, the ego, knowing I'm fundamentally the soul, if I get too involved in life, involvement in the life, meaning distinguishing between people as someone I like, someone I don't like, because I like what he does, I don't like what he does. So the moment I get involved in daily living, through the means of considering someone as a doer of good actions because they help me, someone considers he's a doer of bad actions, I hate him, I break my connection. Every time I consider someone as good or bad, my connection, the first time it has happened, my connection with the source has been broken. But if I am able to accept totally, everything in the world is happening according to God's will. No individual being is capable of doing anything. then I'm again reconnected with the soul. Then I'm reconnected with the soul. Having been reconnected with the soul, if my daily living is such that at no point do I hate myself or hate anyone else, then my connection with the soul is never broken. So when I'm able to accept totally, no one is a doer, neither me nor you, and truly accept it, then my connection with the source is never broken. I'm always constantly connected to God. That is as close to God as I can be.
Thank you.
Okay? I cannot be the source. Unfortunately, that is what many people, what does enlightenment mean? Enlightenment means no more Ramesh. Ramesh has become God. And I say, so long as there is Ramesh as an ego, he has to remain separate from God. Even the greatest sage, Ramana Maharshi or Jesus Christ, so long as there is life in that body, he cannot be God. He cannot be impersonal consciousness. Only when this body is dead and there is no more need of an ego called Ramesh, then the identified consciousness, the identification is lost, and there is no more need of an identification. Even then, Ramesh doesn't become the impersonal consciousness. Impersonal consciousness remains as always. No more Ramesh. No more identified consciousness. But so long as there is life in this body, Ramesh as identified consciousness has to be there. And the nearest Ramesh can be to God is never to forget that I'm connected to the soul.
That's God's will if we...
I'm sorry?
That's God's will if we remember.
In other words, whether there's going to be enlightenment through any person is God's will. That's the basic aspect. Okay. Right. You have a question? You have a question? Come. You have a question? Come. Sit. No, both of you, two chairs.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Luta, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, Luta, go ahead.
Ramesh, I have a question to suicide.
Yes.
I have friends,
Yeah.
an elderly couple like
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
They have a daughter.
Yeah.
She committed suicide.
She committed suicide.
Committed suicide 1 year ago.
Yes.
But it happened that she has been found before she died.
I'm
She
sorry?
was dead. It happened that she has been found before she died. She was dead. She took pills.
Yes.
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 And they reanimated her.
Yes.
And since then she is in a coma.
Yes.
First in a dead coma and now in an awakened coma.
Yes.
And the doctors say the brain has been without oxygen too long, so she never can ever
Yes.
live
Yes.
in any way.
Yes.
And before this young lady, woman, committed the suicide some years before, she left a letter. Whenever something will happen to her, she don't want to have, was sagt man denn, lebensverlängernde Maßnahmen?
You don't want to have life to be extended.
Yes. Yes.
Help?
Yes.
Yes. And now there is always this question: what is correct to to do, and this young
What
lady
is
is so
correct?
much suffering,
So
and
what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong
Yes.
thing to do?
and her mother
Yeah.
is not able to do her will. I think it's her will,
Yeah.
because she says she cannot survive with her feeling of guilt
Yeah.
when she kills her daughter.
Yeah.
And I see them suffering,
Yeah.
and I'm also suffering.
Yeah.
And
So the answer is, there is only one answer, Luca, and that is what has been described is a pain in the moment. What you have described is a pain in the moment which you have to accept.
but it's continuously the same pain which the parents are in, and
What is that?
questioning what they should do or not do.
Oh, that is very simple. If they are able to accept totally, no one can do anything. Everything is a happening. Therefore, no one commits a murder, no one commits a suicide. Suicide is a happening through a particular body-mind organism according to the destiny of that body, God's will, cosmic law. And it has already been predetermined.
Yes, but they are in front of a decision. No?
So, no decision, that merely accept. What has happened had to happen. She can't, no one can be held responsible or guilty for what has happened.
But now she's in a state between life and death.
Yeah.
And
so,
somebody has to decide what or not.
So, you mean the problem is about making a decision?
About?
To keep her alive or to
Or not.
stop the support.
Yes.
That's a decision.
This is a question.
So, any decision that they make is precisely what is supposed to happen. If they decide either way, they need not hold themselves guilty of prolonging the life or anything. So it's entirely a matter of practical decision. Practical decision. If I had to make a decision like that, what I am saying is, I would cut it off for one reason. I am not prolonging the life of any individual. The individual is no longer there.
Yes, that's
the
what-
brain dead.
This is what I
My
tried.
decision would be,
Yeah.
cut it off.
Mine also. And I'm struggling with them because she says, my guilt, my guilt.
There is a question of this. There is no one there.
Yes.
No one living there. Therefore, I cannot make someone dead who is not dead.
Yes.
Then why continue with it? And another thing in this matter, suppose there is some life in it. Suppose there is some life in it.
Yes.
And the life depends on this artificial
Yes.
connection.
Uh-huh.
Then there will be someone there. Do I cut off or do I not? If someone there is not dead, but will be dead if I remove the connection. Much more difficult.
Yes.
But even there, I would say, cut it off. For one reason. In the present condition, there is no one to want it. If you were able to contact the man, do you want to continue? 100% no. You see?
Yes.
But the more important point I'm making is that there is truly no one living there even before. Therefore, without the slightest feeling of guilt, cut it off.
Yes.
But even then, if I have someone else, how do you know they may have wanted to live? So there my question is, from the proof already available, every single person who has had a near-death experience, every single one who has a near-death experience, never wanted to come back.
this is why this may be an argument for this people.
Near that experience, every recorded case.
Yes.
I felt I was going there, everything is open, I was coming out of a cave, and suddenly I was brought me back into it.
It was
No,
terrible.
I mean, recorded cases, there is not a single one who has thanked the person for bringing them back into life. Not one. Therefore, every near-death experience proves that every single one of them was welcoming death, but they were forced to come back.
Unfortunately. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you.
Yes, Nanette.
No, it is strange because I didn't say anything about it. I had a question that I maybe give it to somebody else.
I'm sorry?
There is something, but I can't.
I see.
I can't talk about it now.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe.
Maybe? Are you keen on it? Okay. What shall we say? 10 minutes?
Oh, half an hour.
Are you sure? Not 1 hour?
2 hours.
Not 1.
10 minutes.
Okay. You know what will happen, Gabriel? You and I will be the only people left here.
I'll be very
Everybody will go away, no recording, nothing.
I'll be very happy with that, really.
Yes,
I'll be over the moon with that.
Yes, but my wife won't. Yes, Gabriel.
Ramesh,
Go ahead, yes.
back to my thought and thinking, because it's not really resolved. As I said, let's say I'm just giving an example. I just want to get this very clear, so I'll use an analogy, right? I'm sitting, let's say I'm sitting in a coffee shop,
Yes.
and I'm speaking to, let's say, a woman, for
Yeah.
example, and I get a thought, oh, she's ugly. Now, of course, I don't tell her, that's a thought. Now, according to you, that thought's coming from the source.
Yes.
And then I get another thought, she's stupid as well.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't tell her that.
No.
That's coming from the source.
Yeah.
Now what happens, for example, I'm just saying, let's say if all the thoughts were going on, were able to be read on a screen to the whole world, I would feel ashamed. Why would I feel ashamed? Because I assume I'm thinking my thoughts. But you're saying then, this is what you're saying to me, no, none of these thoughts are your thoughts.
But first of all, let's understand, you can only have one thought at one moment.
Yes.
So you have the thought someone is ugly. But you don't say anything. You don't do anything. What has happened to the thought? It's no longer there.
Yes.
A thought has happened and the thought is dead. Where's the problem? A thought happened and the thought is disregarded.
Well,
Now, when would it not be disregarded? If you said, she is ugly, but this ugly woman seems to like me, what do I do now? That is, you have got involved in the thought that she is ugly. But if you say, you don't do anything, you don't say anything, you don't do anything, the thoughts come and gone. Where is the problem? The thought has come and gone. Where is the problem? Where is the problem?
Then why would I be ashamed if my thoughts were put on a screen one by one? Well, there's two different worlds. There's an outer world and there's an inner world, and
the
they're
answer
completely
is very
conflicting.
simple. If Gabriel is able by God's grace to accept that he cannot create a thought,
He wouldn't feel ashamed.
how can he feel ashamed of something which he is incapable of doing?
So really, God's giving those thoughts, sending those thoughts one after the other, and making me think they're my thoughts.
Then it is the pain you are in which is your destiny.
Yeah.
That is the pain in the moment which Gabriel is supposed to suffer. And he's suffering. That's Gabriel's
Of course.
destiny.
The question is partly
That is Gabriel's destiny.
so just to get any thinking or thought.
Thinking or thought are totally different.
All right, but let's just say everything comes from the one
any
source.
thought or thinking, you start on the wrong footing.
No.
a thought is not thinking. A thought leads to thinking.
Yes.
Then the thought is gone and your thinking involvement continues in your brain.
But that's the problem. When you differentiate like that, you imply that someone has control over the thinking. You imply almost I'm responsible.
No, you
That's
have
what
no
I'm-
control over the thinking.
No control.
Thinking happens
Yeah.
because according to Gabriel's destiny, thinking and involvement is supposed to happen. And yet, in any given situation, I repeat, Gabriel is free to do whatever he wants to stop this involvement. But whether the result is Gabriel's success or not has never been in anyone's control.
And the thinking itself, what you're saying is, okay, thinking is different from thought, but the involvement I have no control in whatsoever.
No.
Because it goes round and round in circles,
So which is,
trying to figure out how to get out of it.
therefore I describe it as pain in the moment. The pain may stretch, but that is Gabriel's destiny. Somebody is dying of cancer. So the pain is the destiny of that person.
Yes.
And make no mistake, even a sage who is dying of cancer cannot help shouting out in pain, grumbling, "Mother, why are you torturing me like this?" But even that is witnessed as an expression of the pain that is there.
Yes.
That is the whole.
It's not so. It was worse before. It was worse 8 years ago. It's not as bad now as it
That
was.
is why I said this in the conceptual scale of 0 to 10 is much better now.
Yes.
So take heart from that. But it is much better now.
I mean, a lot of it's trying to get out of it because I can't get out of it.
No.
You see. And then I think, well, maybe I haven't tried hard enough. If only you could stick to one thing, you'll get out of it. You see, and that's.
Therefore, in a given situation, I repeat, Gabriel is free to do whatever he thinks he can do to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
But whether he is able to do that or not has never been in his control. That is your destiny, God's will, cosmic law.
Yeah, because it's a lot of the guilt. A lot of the thing is based on the
Guilt,
fact that
no need. That's what I'm
I
talking
know. This is
No,
what,
it is supposed to happen, it's happening. No question
Yeah.
of any guilt.
it's unable to stick to one thing. I believe if only I could stick to one thing, it will. Persistence is the key. This seems to be like a religious sort of commandment in my head.
Again, another description of the pain in the moment.
Okay.
Whatever you say will be another description of the pain in the moment. And the pain in the moment is your destiny.
Right.
And I repeat again, for that pain in the moment, Gabriel is free to do whatever he likes. Take some drug, go to a psychotherapist or whatever.
Sure.
And what happens is again your destiny. Okay? Yeah, Murthy.
Ramesh, I have a short
Yes, come. Yes, Gabriel.
Oh yeah.
Suresh? Take these things off.
Yes.
10 minutes are over. I'm glad you're able to laugh and enjoy the joke.
Of course.
Yes, sir. Ernest.
Hermes, yeah, I have a
Thank
short
you.
question
Yes.
of clarification regarding this simple imprisonment or rigorous imprisonment that's life.
Yes.
Okay?
And even that is your destiny.
Right, because you are saying,
Yeah.
and you have repeated this phrase several times, all you can do is accept that there's no doership and just live your life under the circumstances that you are supposed to live.
Accept your simple imprisonment over which you have no control.
But you cannot even do that because that is doing something. So you cannot even do the acceptance.
No, even that is a happening which will happen if it is supposed to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you say all you can do that,
Is
it's
your
really,
unless you have unless every human being has always from the beginning of time had total free will to do whatever, daily living would not have happened always. Therefore, what is in the mechanism of daily living? Every human being has to have the total free will to do whatever he likes.
Right, but that's an illusion. That's an illusion.
In actual practice and in theory, his free will, which is certainly there, is useless both in theory and practice.
Right, because we are not.
So what?
We are not doing. We're being. We're being according to our programming.
According to
we're being according to our programming.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you are being according to your destiny.
And
you function according to your program.
Okay, we function according to our programming. We're being according to our destiny, and that has to do with our genes, our conditioning. And
programming is to do with your genes and conditioning, and even that is your destiny.
True. So the destiny can be that we can be. We can only be under the illusion that we can exercise our free will and do what you are talking about, which is have the acceptance that we're not the doer.
Yeah.
If our programming is, or our destiny is to have that acceptance. So really,
what is whether you are able to accept that you are really the doer or not is your destiny. I have accepted it. It's been my destiny to accept I am not the doer. But having accepted that I am not the doer, for daily living to happen, Hermes, in any situation, I still do whatever I feel I should do as if I have free will. Having done it, I am free of the consequence. Therefore, in any situation, so long as I am alive, I have to do whatever I feel I should do as if I have free will. But having done what I am forced to do, after that I sit back, witness whatever is happening, either as biological reaction or as a happening through that body-mind organism. I don't blame and condemn anyone, neither myself nor the other. No regrets in the past, no complaints in the present, no expectations in the future.
I understand. I understand.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Right. You do precisely what you think you should do. Look, I should do this, but I want to do something else.
Yes.
Ultimately, you have to decide whether you will do the wrong thing and enjoy it, or do the right thing and not enjoy it. Your choice. Your choice. No. But actually what happened is again had already happened.
It can be that I decide to do the should, and at the last moment I change my mind and don't want.
Sure.
Yes.
Or even you don't change your mind, but something happened, prevents you from doing what you wanted to do.
Namo